On the last part, the Planet Namek saga commences. However, this is far different from the one we know. Vegeta eliminates both Zarbon and Dodaro together this time around. This is because Krillin and Gohan are dead in this canon events, so Dodaro never gets his chance to chase them. So basically, Zarbon and Dodaro actually stick together while searching for Dragon Balls on Planet Namek. And without the Scouter, Frieza just doesn't really want to bother to seek out Dragon Balls by himself at this point in time, so he sends off his henchmen. And Vegeta waits patiently for both Zarbon and Dodaro to separate far away enough from Frieza before eliminating them right away. He didn't want to risk a direct confrontation with Frieza at this point in time, especially after witnessing Zarbon's transformation. If Zarbon had such a trick hidden up his sleeve, what could Frieza have hidden? It could be devastating, and Vegeta decides to play it safe. Without any news from Zarbon and Dodaro, Frieza decides to call in the Ginyu Force and get his hands on a new supply of Scouters. Afterwards, Frieza sends out the Ginyu Force to scout out the location of the remaining Dragon Balls. However, as soon as they leave Frieza's side, Vegeta was there, about to deliver the same fate that he had delivered to Zarbon and Dodaro. And just like that, with one single ki blast, Vegeta fully eliminates the Ginyu Force. Vegeta has been growing stronger and stronger, and Frieza has underestimated Vegeta. Soon enough, Frieza has received news of the Ginyu Force's demise. He decided to take things into his own hands, picking up his scouter and going over to the nearest Namekian village. This was none other than the Grand Elder Guru's place, and standing guard was the Namekian Neo, the strongest warrior Namekian on Planet Namek. Frieza demands to know where the last Dragon Ball was, and Neo immediately tells Frieza that he had defeated him in the fight, and Frieza scoffs at this. In fact, Neo was already prepared to lay down his life. He knew there was no way he could defeat Frieza. However, he warns Frieza not to touch the Grand Elder Guru, because if the Grand Elder Guru dies, the Dragon Balls die along with him. So Frieza doesn't dare to act against Grand Elder Guru, instead taking out his rage on Neo, completely massacring him. Neo was no match for Frieza at all, and while the fight was happening, Vegeta slowly creeps up to where the Grand Elder Guru was located. Vegeta had adjusted his power level to a point in which Frieza's scouter could not pick up on his presence. Vegeta demands Guru to pass him the last Dragon Ball right away. At this point, he had 6 Dragon Balls and just needed the last Dragon Ball from Guru. He tells Guru that any more waiting, he'd get both of them killed, especially if Frieza realizes that he was here. Obviously, Grand Elder Guru knew that Vegeta had malicious intentions. He didn't intend to save Planet Namek. All he wanted to do was defeat Frieza. However, the Grand Elder Guru knew that Vegeta could be his last hope. Or suddenly, the Grand Elder Guru had a plan conceived in his head. Guru pretends to go along with Vegeta's plan, even unlocking Vegeta's potential to appease Vegeta. However, secretly, he was actually communicating with King Kai. They had already set in motion a plan that would change history forever. After managing to persuade Vegeta to hand over his 6 Dragon Balls, Guru now has all 7 Dragon Balls. He calls on Porunga as the dragon descends from the sky. Vegeta was amazed by the sight of the dragon before him. Meanwhile, Frieza, who was still beating on Neo, also notices the dark sky and the dragon, the huge dragon looming in the distance. He immediately flicks Neo away and rushes towards the scene. However, he was never actually gonna make it there in time. Vegeta was in the dark about this, but Guru actually planned to use up all 3 wishes of Porunga. Taking advantage of Vegeta, who didn't understand the Namekian language, Guru makes his 3 wishes. The first wish being to revive Piccolo, allowing the Earth Dragon Balls to be used, which will be then used to revive all the Namekians killed by Frieza's army. The second wish to bring Piccolo to Namek, and the third and final wish to fuse Piccolo with every single living Namekian on Planet Namek currently, including Guru himself. Guru suddenly disappears right in front of Vegeta's eyes, and the Dragon Balls drop to the ground, now turned to stone. Vegeta's screams filled the sky. His screams filled with rage and anger. He was so close to his wish, but it always just falls out of his grasp. Frieza reaches the area as well and sees the Dragon Balls on the floor, the Dragon Balls that were no longer usable, having already turned to stone. His rage fills the area. Vegeta could feel his aura emanating, as Frieza transforms into his second form. Who will win this battle? Will it be Vegeta or will it be Frieza? Well, these are questions we'll answer today on Dragon Ball Z. The fight is about to begin. Vegeta prepares his battle pose as he powers up to his maximum, while Piccolo throws off his weights, also powering up to his own maximum. Both their powers were significantly higher than the original canon of events. So before the fight begins, let's go cover some power levels. So Vegeta is at a power level of 10 million, which is very impressive. However, he's nowhere near Piccolo's power level. Piccolo is currently at a power level of 15 million. Keep in mind that Piccolo can actually access much higher power levels than this. However, similar to Saunel and Piranha from Universe 6 in the Tournament of Power, Piccolo was still not really accustomed to this new power and could not tap into all of it right away. And they both obliterate second form Frieza. Frieza was sent hurtling around the planet and he couldn't even see their movements. He was bitch slapped around, being treated like a baby. Frieza was in disbelief, and this disbelief soon morphed into anger. He had enough of this nonsense. He had enough of being thrown around, and suddenly Frieza's power skyrockets, causing Piccolo and Vegeta to be pushed back. Frieza immediately transforms into his final form at 50% of his full power. With a huge scar on his face, Frieza doesn't let up as he charges straight into the fight right away, engaging with Piccolo. However, Piccolo is actually able to handle himself relatively well against full power Frieza here, and Frieza was even more confused and infuriated. This is because Frieza was actually injured pretty badly by both Vegeta and Piccolo when he was in his second form, so 50% Frieza here isn't actually at a power level of 60 million, rather he was at a power level of 45 million, which is actually below Piccolo's power level of 50 million. After engaging Piccolo for a while, Frieza suddenly realizes he's still outmatched, and given that brief window, the brief opportunity, Piccolo charges up his Makanko Sampo, while Vegeta charges up his Gallic Gun, and they hurl it towards Frieza at alarming speeds. Frieza was momentarily distracted and could not evade the two powerful ki blasts in time. He had to take it head on as he braced his body against the two powerful ki blasts. Frieza was sent flying away, and suddenly his ki disappears. Vegeta and Piccolo look at each other in relief. Well, looks like they have finally done it. They have finally defeated the space tyrant Frieza. However, suddenly, in the background, they could sense Frieza's power rising up once again, even further from when he was before. Frieza was going all out, 100%. And now at a power level of 19 million, Frieza actually boosted a power level that far exceeded both Vegeta and Piccolo. Vegeta and Piccolo looked at each other in worry. Then suddenly, Vegeta suggested a plan. They had to carry it out right away. This was to exploit the Zenkai boost of Saiyans, the ability to get stronger when pushed to the brink of death. He tells Piccolo to launch a healer straight through his chest and then heal him up. Piccolo actually thinks this is a pretty good idea and decides to carry out what Vegeta asks of him, sending a Makanko Sampo straight through Vegeta's chest. Vegeta tumbles to the floor, and as Piccolo looks down at Vegeta, he decides whether he should actually heal Vegeta. I mean, Vegeta was their enemy, however, they had a common enemy here, an even stronger and more formidable enemy. So he decides to heal Vegeta, and Vegeta stands back up, his power rising rapidly. He could not believe his own eyes. He was now the legendary Super Saiyan, or so he thought. He was not gonna turn blonde anytime soon. So Vegeta is now at a power level of 18 million, with Piccolo at 50 million. Well, with now a collective power of 130 million, well, would they be able to overwhelm Frieza at a power level of 90 million? Well, not really, not at the start anyways. Frieza at a power level of 90 million is actually able to outmaneuver most of their attacks. However, as in canon, Frieza is unable to handle his full power, his 100% form for too long, and soon his power started depleting rapidly. Vegeta realizes this and immediately pushes on the offensive, not allowing Frieza the chance to relax. Frieza suddenly couldn't handle Vegeta's barrages of punches and kicks, and he struggles to fend them off. And then Vegeta finally lands a solid blow right in Frieza's gut, stunning Frieza and sending him flying straight to the ground. At this point, Frieza's power had already declined to a point where Vegeta was no longer afraid. So Vegeta continued his brutal and relentless assault on Frieza. Frieza was scared, he was angry as he launches multiple ki blasts once again straight towards Vegeta. Vegeta was charging straight towards Frieza at alarming speeds, and Frieza would not allow Vegeta to get near him. Not now, not ever! Vegeta appears straight in front of Frieza, landing a powerful throat chop on Frieza, sending Frieza flying away. Frieza is no longer buff Frieza, he reverts back to his skinny form, and Frieza is now scared. He's shaking in fear. He's about to be killed by this Saiyan monkey. No! And Frieza suddenly had a great idea. Well, he was the only one here that could live in the vacuum of space. Suddenly he smirks, and Vegeta had a very bad feeling. Frieza launches a ki blast, not at him, not at Piccolo, but straight towards Planet Namek. This blows a hole straight in the center of Planet Namek. However, Frieza curses under his breath. This was supposed to destroy the entire planet. He held back too much. He was too scared that the explosion would actually hurt him as well. And Frieza was about to launch another ki blast. However, Vegeta knew he had to finish this right away before Frieza did anything else to the planet. If not, his life will be over. He uses his signature move, aka the Big Bang attack, and launches it straight towards Frieza. Frieza, who was shutting up another ki blast, did not even see this coming, and could only look as his life was reduced to ashes. Vegeta collapses on the floor and heaves a sigh of relief as he laughs loudly. He had finally avenged the Saiyan race. He had finally done what his life was for. He had finally killed off Frieza. Vegeta looks around, trying to find Piccolo. Well, he was gonna kill Piccolo next. However, Piccolo was pretty smart about this. After seeing that Vegeta had the situation under control, Piccolo immediately fled the scene. Using one of the space pods that he found laying around, Piccolo leaves Planet Namek in time. Vegeta was pissed off. He wanted to kill Piccolo, but that would be a matter for a later time, as he takes his leave as well, as Planet Namek finally explodes and disappears. So, how will the story go on from here? Will Vegeta manage to find Piccolo, or does Piccolo have another plan in the works? This situation could go either way, and we'll see how it unfolds in the next part on Dragon Ball Z. Thank you so much for watching.